Theme is PKI ecosystem. I'd like to invite the session chair for this session, Shri D.K. Burban, Assistant Controller from CC Office. Over to you, sir.
To you all. In these sessions, themed PKI ecosystems, we have three papers. A study of PKI ecosystem in South Asia and Oceania countries. Second is PKI ecosystem for reliable smart contracts and NFT. And third is identity of things, need and requirements. So I request the first paper presenter, Sri Anoop Kumar Pandey, to present his paper, a study of PKI ecosystem in South Asian and Oceanian countries. Over to you, Anoop.
Good evening, everyone. So basically, 2 days back, there was one international workshop on cross-certification of certifying authorities. And many Asia Pacific CAs joined us, including Bangladesh, Malaysia, Iran, South Africa, European Union. So my presentation seems like redundant because I had to cover this only. But still, I will go through some of the countries which were not covered. So to start with public infrastructure, I think Dr. Balaji in his next presentation will give a better idea about PKI ecosystem. But for now, PKI is a ecosystem comprising of technology, policy, applications, standards, everything. So all these things collude to make the entire infrastructure. So I will directly start with comparison of the PKI ecosystem in India versus Oceania countries, that is New Zealand and Australia. So let's start with the root certifying authority. So apart from Australia, where multiple root CAs are there, India and New Zealand have only one root CA. Then assurance level also, there are different assurance level. Like in India, there are 5 level of assurance from class 1 to 3, EKYC single factor and EKYC multi-factor. New Zealand, only 3 classes are there. But Australia, it is called LOA, level of assurance, which is like 4 level of assurance are there. Now, identity reproofing is done for India and New Zealand after 2 years. For Australia, it is not known. Archive retention period is 7 years across all the countries. There are various key size and algorithms that are followed from ECDSA to RSA to ECC support, hashing support. Everything is there across all, but it differs in terms of what algorithm is being used. Similarly, audit logging is there across all the countries. And for online revocation checking, whether the certificate is revoked or not, multiple options are there, like CRL, OCSP. Australia has LDAP level verification as well. Okay, so I will move on to certificate rekey, which is allowed in all the countries. Certificate requirement for cryptographic modules are different. Like in India, it is FIPS 142, 140 and 2 separate. And New Zealand FIPS 143, and Australia it is FIPS 140 again 2. The root, so the root certifying authority key validity in India it is 10 years, but recently with 2022 certificate it is 20 years. And in New Zealand it's 10 years, but in Australia, depending on how many bit security is there associated with the certificate, the validity will differ. The subscriber certificate validity is minimum 1 year in India, but maximum 3 years. So we can have 2 year as well as 3 year also. In New Zealand, it is maximum 2 year from date of issue. But in case of Australia, again, it is based on the bit of security that is being offered. So with 112 bit, it's 2 years, but with 128 bits, it's 3 years. Now, there is a trust hierarchy which is used to check the trust through the CAs, sub-CA, CA, and the root certifying authority. So India has CA, sub-CA, and root certifying authority. In New Zealand, it's not exactly hierarchical, but there are multiple ways of CA 001, CA 101, and CA 301 hierarchy. Australia, it is called gatekeeper, and then again, depending on the level of assurance, there are issuing CAs. Now, coming on to Asia Pacific countries like Singapore and Korea, so all have common one each root certifying authority. Object identifier are supported, and apart from India, others have only 3 classes. So India only has 5 classes. Identity reproofing is common across all for 2 years, and for archive retention, Korea has 10 years. So I will skip this. Anyway, the presentation will be shared on the website. So the certificate requirement is again 140 and -2 is common across all the countries in Asia Pacific. And issuer signature is also common with SA 256 with RSA. But in Singapore, SA1 is also being used. Root certifying authority key validation, again in India, it has again become 20 years. And in Singapore, it is 20 to 25 years, and Korea 20 years. So in trust hierarchy, the CA, root CA, and subscriber, that is maintained in India and Singapore. But in Korea, there are accredited CA. Then there is a national root certificate authority, KISA, and then that is the Korean. And after that, the CAs are there, and then directly the subscribers are there. So okay, so this is the brief comparison of the PKI ecosystem with oceanic countries and with Asia Pacific countries. For more like for Bangladesh, Malaysia, we'll share our videos on our website pkindia.in, and you can refer those directly to hear from their CAs directly. So their CA certifying authority directly joined us and gave their overview about their PKI ecosystem. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Anoop. Any specific question? Audience, any specific questions?